So as most of you know by now, there is currently a quintuple XP event going on in the game. It is definitely the best time to level up incredibly fast. It started yesterday, July 1st, and will go through this Friday, July 4th. Now with that being said, in a video I posted yesterday, some of you reached out to the channel asking me to show you a few of the builds that I love to use during this event, so we are going to start that series today. Now as always, we're going to jump right into the details, and if you happen to enjoy this, do me a favor and hit that like button. It truly helps the channel out. And if you want to stay up to speed on all things Division, feel free to hit that subscribe or join button as well. Now one thing you hear me mention in any build video I put together is I always remind you this is just a template. And the reason I say that is because there are so many different ways to run with a build like this. You may take a look at this thing and say, F this guy, I don't want to run with a build like this. I want more weapon damage. I want to use a different talent. So always remember, the most important thing is to truly take your time, make a build your own, and I will talk about that a little bit more at the very end of the video. Now with that being said, let's jump right into it. Starting with the specialization, you can see I'm using sharpshooter, and I've chosen that for a bunch of different reasons. First of all, you get some extra headshot damage, you get some extra weapon stability. You also have access to the tactician drone that's going to mark enemies for you. You will also gain some extra armor when you're in cover, and the specialization gives you access to the digital scope in case you want to use that. And always remember, regardless of the specialization you choose, have the proper weapons activated in that weapon skill tree. That way you're getting a 15% weapon damage bonus regardless of which one you're using. Now my primary weapon for this build is the White Death Marksman Rifle. This is in the general loot pool. I recommend hitting up countdown, set your targeted loot to marksman rifles. You should get one pretty damn quick. This comes standard with that 130% headshot damage bonus right in the middle. And as you can see, I'm using that talent Determined. After killing an enemy with a headshot, the next shot landed on any enemy will be a guaranteed headshot as well. One of the best talents in the game in my opinion, and you'll notice I have that talent on all three of my weapons, even though I don't really switch from the marksman rifle that often. And for those of you out there who are still trying to get the White Death, or you want to use a different marksman rifle, that's totally up to you. Just make sure you are using the talent Determined. Now moving on to the gear itself, you can see we're running 3 HOTSHOT, 1 Walker and Harris, 1 HG, and the Ninja Bike backpack, which is what we're starting with. Now most of you know how this thing works, but for those of you that may not, it has the talent Resourceful, which slots in with any equipped gear set and or brand set item to fulfill a requirement towards unlocking a gear set's bonus. Now that simply means even though we are only wearing 3 pieces of HOTSHOT, we are still getting all 4 gear set bonuses, 2 pieces 30% marksman rifle damage and 30% weapon handling, 3 pieces 30% headshot damage, and 4 pieces headache. And the best thing about this talent in my opinion is when you get that 3rd consecutive headshot, it's going to refill the magazine, and after that, from the 4th headshot forward, agents will get all 3 bonuses for each consecutive headshot kill. In my opinion, fellow agents, like I said, when it comes to a one-tap build, one of the best in the game without a doubt. Now moving on to the body armor, it's the 1 piece of Walker and Harris, but because we are wearing that Ninja Bike, we do get 2 brand set bonuses, and you can see it is the named body armor, the Chain Killer, and it has the talent Perfect Headhunter. Now for those of you that do not have this, I recommend hitting up countdown, set your targeted loot to Walker and Harris, and you should be able to get one pretty quickly. And in the meantime, you could use a regular piece of Walker and Harris, or even Providence, with a regular talent Chain Killer. I can promise you that will still get the job done. Next we have the holster, that is the 2nd piece of HOTSHOT. Continuing on to the knee pads, it is the 1 piece of HG, but again, because of that Ninja Bike backpack, we do get 2 brand set bonuses, and one thing you will notice is on every single piece of gear in this build, I'm stacking headshot damage and weapon handling everywhere I can. Now as we jump to the gameplay footage, I'd like to mention 2 things really quick. First of all, if you do not have the Ninja Bike, I recommend putting a 2nd piece of HG in its place, and you can use the talent Vigilance or even the talent Composure. I can promise you, once again, that'll still get the job done. And secondly, you will notice in the gameplay footage I do not have any modifiers turned on, and the reason for that is because I want you to have an idea of what this build can do without any events going on. Hope this helped you out, my friends, and as always, questions, comments, or feedback, please let me know and I'll do my best to get back to you as quick as I can. With all that being said, I'm going to leave you with some gameplay footage and commentary. As always, I want to take a moment and thank you all for your incredible continued support. Please let me know of any other questions you have I did not address. Thank you once again for the privilege of your time, and as I mention at the end of every one of these, take care of yourselves, be kind to each other, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks again, everyone. Hello once again, my fellow agents. I hope everyone is having a good day so far. A lot of you reached out asking why the game is not having this event, the quintuple XP event, going on for an entire week, and I don't have an answer for you. Doesn't make sense to me. I mean, for them to turn it off for the weekend, it just doesn't track. And the reason I say that is because I know a lot of you out there, including myself, we work during the week. The weekends we have more free time, so it kind of sucks it is not going on over the weekend. It will go through July 4th, so please make sure you take this opportunity. And if you missed yesterday's video, I will leave a link to it in the video description down below. Last but not least today, my friends, as promised, I'd like to circle back to something I said at the very beginning of the video, and that is taking your time in making a build your own. And when I say that, try out different variations. Look, here's the thing. When it comes to this build, this is not the hardest hitting marksman rifle build out there. But for me, I really like the balance between weapon damage, survivability. I'm sitting at 1.1 million armor. Some of you may want more, you may want less. Again, try out different variations. Let me know of any other questions you have, my friends. That's all I got for this one. Thank you once again for everything, and I will see you in the next.
Reinforcements incoming. Incoming hostiles detected. Hostile detected.
Damn drone! Easy down!
Reinforcements en route. Incoming hostiles detected.